everyone, my name is Clay and welcome to another edition of Terminally Nerdy's Indie Impressions, where I take a look at independent and non-AAA games, giving you my first impressions after at least 2 hours of playtime, if not more. Today I'm going to be looking at another game that was sent to me, this time directly through email by the developers, called Nova Drift. And it's kind of hard to describe. I'm actually going to pull up and read you the email they sent me directly, because they describe it a lot better than I do, because it's kind of an odd game, to be perfectly honest. So, the best way to describe Nova Drift... Come here. I love my computer. The game distills deep action RPG-styled mechanical depth, Path of Exile and Diablo, into classic arcade space combat, similar to Geometry Wars and Asteroids. Sessions are quick and progress is lightning fast, allowing for continuous experimentation and build iteration. With 120 unlockable upgrades enabling endless configuration, it's perfect for tinkerers and theory crafters. So that's their description of it, and honestly that's pretty apt. It feels very much like, say, Asteroids, or that style of game with the way the movement works and everything. It's very much a bullet hell shooter. It's got an RPG progression system, but it's definitely not a role-playing game. There's no story here. You're just running around in circles, shooting enemies in various configurations with randomized upgrades. That is a big thing. The upgrades that you get offered each time you level are random. The first time you level, you're going to get an upgrade to your primary weapon. The second time you level, you're going to get an upgrade to your ship type. And from there, you start unlocking things like drones, new weapons, new ways to fire your weapons, all sorts of crazy stuff. Control scheme's pretty straightforward. You can play with a mouse keyboard, primarily mouse, primarily keyboard. You can also use a controller. I used both the mouse configuration and the keyboard configuration, and I tried both, and frankly, if I'm going to play this, it's going to be on the keyboard. The mouse controls are a little wonky to me. Now, this is an early access title, so it is continuously being developed still. They've already put out a couple of patches, one or two. It's not my sort of game. I'm going to level with you right now. While it is fun in the moment-to-moment play, like the running around, the shooting, the explosions, and while the music is actually really nice and slowly builds the further you get, it doesn't have a lot for me to grab onto. And, to be perfectly honest, I'm terrible at these games. I'm bad at controlling momentum. I am bad at aiming. I am bad at this game. I die repeatedly, over and over and over again. I probably die during the gameplay that you're going to be watching. I'm going to die. It's going to happen. It happens constantly. I think I can get through the second boss, unless, of course, the first boss is actually a mini-boss, and then the first big ring-looking thing is the first boss. I can get through that boss, and then I usually get killed. My focus slips, or the enemies just become too much for me to handle. Visually, it is a very pretty game. It is very fluid. It looks good, and it's got an art style that I absolutely love. The effects of the weapons and things look really, really cool. I love the drones and stuff, but it can become incredibly hectic at times, making it difficult for me to keep up with what the hell is going on. The only way you know which way your ship is pointing is from a very faint white line that shows where you're aiming. But there can be so much stuff going on screen, so many explosions, so much everything, that it can be very difficult sometimes to figure out where you're pointing. Further, you have momentums, and until you get a particular upgrade that allows you to basically use a reverse thruster to stop yourself, you will slide almost like you're on ice. And the screen edges, they don't stop you. You go through them. If you go up through the top, you pop up through the bottom. If you go out through the right, you pop up on the left. So, but your shots don't. Your shots stop at the edge of the screen. The enemy shots stop at the edge of the screen, but you don't. You go right through them. And there have been instances where I get stuck almost like inside the edge, and nothing I'm doing will go out, and then I have to figure out where the hell I'm looking so I can figure out where the hell I'm going. It is a good game, but it is decidedly not for me. But if you like what you're seeing, give it a shot. It's available on itch and Steam. It is $15. I don't know if that's going to be the final price point, because this is, at the time of this recording, an early access title. It just came out a couple weeks ago. But for $15, it's not worth it to me. But again, I am not the intended audience for this game at all. If you like frenetic action, and you like games like, say, Beat Hazard, Asteroid, Geometry Wars, and you want that like progression that you get both in a roguelike situation where you unlock account-wide unlocks, new gear, future runs, new weapons, future runs, the ability to re-roll multiple times so you can try to fix what your upgrades you're being offered. If you like that kind of gameplay, this might be very well for you. It feels very much like a twin-stick shooter. It probably would work better on a controller, but I just don't do twin-stick shooters, so I know that would not help me. But the controls would probably feel better on a controller if you're into twin-stick shooters. Anyway, guys, as always, I want to thank you very much for watching. If you like what I'm doing, hit that like button. Feel free to leave a comment. Please share the video with your friends. You know, any word of mouth helps me out. It helps me make more. If you want to support what I'm doing and get these episodes the instant I finish them, rather than having to wait, please visit patreon.com/terminallynerdy. And, you know, next time when we come back around, I don't know what I'm going to be doing yet. Might be Dicey Dungeons. Might be something else. I don't know. But as always, folks, see you next time, and remember, stay nerdy.